And thanks for joining us tonight. Advice from police tonight on how to get help after a kidnapping and robbery attempt in Grand Chute, which put 2 people in danger this week.
Police say a 31-year-old woman and her 4-year-old child suffered minor injuries trying to escape after being taken at knife point from a parking lot and then driven around to local ATMs to withdraw money. Jason Zimmerman spoke to investigators today who say that your most valuable tool is likely your phone. He's live for us in Grand Chute. Jason.
Yes, Cami, self-defense is always an option, but your biggest weapon is actually your smartphone when it comes to alerting authorities that you might be in danger without tipping off a criminal. It was in the 4300 block of West Wisconsin Avenue Monday night around 7:30 that Grand Chute police say a Neenah woman and her child were threatened at knife point in a parking lot.
Took the female's keys and then took the female's vehicle with her and her child inside to local banks in the area, forced the female to take out money for him.
While crimes like this are rare in the Fox Valley, police say it's important to know what to do to keep yourself safe.
It's all situational dependent, do your best to try to keep yourself safe, whether that's, using self-defense or just trying to comply with whatever's going on. There's a lot of features with smartphones now where you can share your location with trusted friends and family members.
Some apps that do this include My SOS Family and Life 360, but activating the SOS option is the quickest way to call for help without tipping off the criminal. On an iPhone, for example, you can activate the emergency SOS by simply holding down the 2 side buttons until you see a screen like this where you can slide a tab to call 911. And this way, authorities should be able to detect your location and respond. Also, pay attention in parking lots, especially for people who appear out of place.
Smartphones distract all of us. People are walking through parking lots looking down at their cell phones and things like that. But it's important when you're walking to and from your car to businesses and things like that, that you're keeping your head on a swivel, looking out around you. As you approach your vehicle, check underneath it, check your windows, look for damage.
The suspect in this case is being held in the Outagamie County Jail on charges of kidnapping, carjacking, robbery, and felony bail jumping. Both the victim and her child did receive minor injuries in making their escape. Reporting live in Grand Chute, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.